When a man overcomes the world, there are three things that happen to him. The first is that connection to God is reestablished. So that man lives his life by signals. We don't live our life by human reasoning. The mind is important. We use them for earthly things. But how can you order your steps? He said the steps of the righteous is ordered by the Lord. How do you know you are supposed to live in Abuja? What if God shifts the next phase of your purpose to just? How will you know? Except you live by signals. By signals. So every morning you can't step up until there's a signal. I served in the barracks. The barrack can be going on. The moment they receive signals, everything in the barrack changes in a matter of minutes. The whole barrack can be altered when the signals come from headquarters. That's how we live. When the principalities create the atmosphere, their job is completed. Then the powers will come. That's why Paul said, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. That your brother you think is wicked is not the problem. If you deal with the spirit behind him, your brother will become your brother. But he was a slave of a principality. The bargain had taken place. He had been wooed by a spirit. That your daughter that you think is a fornicator, she can't sit in one place. You are the one wrong. You have not seen the spirit behind her. They whisper to her head. She is transmitting frequencies from another dimension because she was not born a harlot. The Bible said, because the parents are holy, the children are holy. So they were born as holy children, but they entered the territory and a spirit began to whisper. The balances of the energy in the realm was of darkness. So if you want to save your child, cut off the influx of the spirit. In Israel, children don't go out. Before they go out, they kneel before their parents and they bless them. The Lord keep you. The Lord cause his face to shine upon you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you, and the Lord give you peace. If that child go out, there's no way that child can be dark, because they understand this intelligence. So what the principalities do is to establish new governments. So the media is a government. Education is a government. Religion is a government. Somebody called it the 7 mountains of influence. And they take people. So a man can come into business and he thinks it's business. He doesn't know that there is a dark prince on that mountain, and his job is recruitment. So you can come, thank God we are in the police setting. You can come into the police force with fire, and then the principality goes to your boss and say, this one have potential. And then every day they are troubling you. You must bring returns. And that battle is going on in your heart. That's why recruitment takes place. Whether you will line up with light or you will line up with darkness. You have gone beyond the police force at that time. You are fighting for your soul, because princes are warring. Kingdoms are at war. Whether you will take the bribe to bring a return or you will stand and be posted to a village to suffer. It's not about the village. It's about the soul. Because princes are at war. They have looked into the spirit and they have seen your star. They know that if you are not corrupt, something will come out of you that will make you take this mountain from their hands. Because out of Mount Zion shall saviors arise. Obadiah 1:21, saviors shall come from Mount Zion. What do they come to do? To judge the mountains of Esau. So the spirit knows. So it's bringing the bargain. If you don't take the bribe and bring a return, you will go to a village where there is no light. It's not light that determines the quality of your life. It's your fraternity with God that determines the quality of your life. But many, they don't understand that it's a transaction on that mountain. So they go the way of bribe. And the moment they go the way of bribe, they are no longer just police officers. They are officers of a prince in darkness. And after serving for 35 years, they will look back and discover that their life is vanity. Because when they came in, they didn't know there was a transaction. When the principalities is done with recruitment, then powers come. The job of powers is to make you addicted. So even when you change your mind, you can't. So the girl goes to the university, and one guy comes and says, you are beautiful. and the guy troubles her for 2 years to sleep with her, and then she gives in, and now she gives in, and it becomes a lifestyle because a principality recruited her, a power has come. So even when she comes to church now, she says she doesn't want to fornicate anymore. She can't. She has now become a slave. So it must take power to break it. Now there are no boyfriends anymore. She's the one dressing to be attractive. She's now the one looking for the boys. Once upon a time, it took one boy troubling her for 2 years. Now she's looking for a boy for 2 weeks. Because the first phase was recruitment, the second phase is slavery. So the academia is a mountain of recruitment for princes in darkness. The guy shows up as a lecturer. He came to teach history. He came to teach sociology. But when he came to sociology department, 90% of the students are ladies. And 50% of them are fair. And the demon begins to show him, this one is beautiful. This one is beautiful. He doesn't know that the recruitment exercise is going on. And then he gives in. After a while, he becomes a slave. There are many men that their families are being wrecked because they are lecturers. They don't know that the university is a ground of recruitment. So he went to teach, but he didn't know a prince was waiting for him. That's how many enter politics. They have compassion for people. If I go there, I will change things. The problem is, are you a man that can bring the word of the Lord? That's why people come and say the church is not influential because they don't have people in politics. We have people. The problem is they don't have capacity to bring the word of the Lord. The vice president of this country is a Christian, and there are many ministers and senators who are Christians. The problem is not that they are not Christians there. They don't have men that can bring the word of the Lord. They don't know that they are not senators. They are apostles in the Senate. That's why before you stand up and say, I'm encouraging young men, go to media, better build them first. Because it's men that can bring the word of the Lord that should be sent. He called them to be with him that he may send them. You don't send them to teach them to be with him. We have too many people in politics to change it. We have too many people in the army to change it. We have too many people in the police to change it. The problem is they are not men of God. They are not servants of God. They are servants of princes in darkness. Some of them is the prince of Mammon, lost for money. So a man can betray his own constituency because of money. It's not taught. That's why I told you the men that can bring the word of the Lord are ministers of the presence, men of the secret place. They are servants of the word and they are carriers of the glory. If you send that kind of a man to the government, you will feel the impact. He can rise up and tell the president, on this matter, I will not bow. Because his fraternity to God is superior to his fraternity to the president. I know I'm vice president, but I won't keep quiet on this matter. On this matter, I will not bow. Because he's first of all an apostle before he's a vice president. He's first of all an apostle before he's a senator. He's first of all an apostle before he's a sergeant or even a recruit. I better leave the police than to compromise. Because that way my soul will be intact. That's what he said. What shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world and suffers the loss of his soul? And he said, what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Somebody is a recruit earning 25,000 and is taking bribe. How can 25,000 change your life? If that person begins to earn 500,000, he can kill his own family. Poverty of the soul, because we are slaves of powers. And many are, as I'm talking to you now, there are many who have scheduled appointments with their boyfriends on Monday. You will be shocked. So you come to church, you say, Holy Ghost move, because their emotions are stirred, they fall down, cry. When they stand up on Monday, they will go and visit their boyfriend and commit immorality, because you deal with the powers first. When I knew these things, I put the frenzies aside. I checked people's lives. Transformation became my watchword. If a man is transformed, every other thing can happen. And when powers enslave people in order to keep them forever, then the rulers of the darkness of this world comes. The word rulers of darkness is from the word magistrate. What they do is to institute laws. The law of fear, the law of ignorance, the law of foolishness, the law of wickedness. These laws are set and they become the culture of the people. Hope you know, some of us that are above 30, you knew when ladies didn't wear trousers. You knew when ladies didn't walk around holding boys. At least some of us saw it. But now it is normal. It's normal. Now they even dress naked and they put it on their display pictures on WhatsApp and Facebook. They are proud because a ruler has come and he has programmed it into our thinking process. It's now a law. That's where we fight from. Those days when some ladies were recruited first, if they wanted to wear sexual clothes, they will put it in the leather and go to the studio and change and snap and put it back in the leather. That's when they were coming. That's when the principalities were coming. It was a gradual process. Now they wear pants to swimming pool. It's part of our thinking because the law have been weaved. Now if you come to a police force or the army, they tell you, do you understand? Understand doesn't mean did you go to the training. Do you know how things are done here? How are things done here? Bribe is normal. So if you don't take bribe, you have not been well trained. Because a ruler has come. And many have become slaves of darkness. We call the name of the Lord, but we don't know him. That's why I said, if a man purges himself from these things, he shall be a vessel unto honor. So it's a fight to stand. If you check yourself now, you know how many things you are a slave of. There are regions of darkness. And when you follow that law for a long time, then spiritual wickedness comes. You know, the devil shows you something that looks good. When you are talking to the guy, all you were thinking is the pleasure. That's why I said there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, the end is death. It's called the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. When they were introducing you to the bribe, you now checked and say, wow, about every week I'll get extra 15,000. You don't know you open the door to a prince. The last one that will come is called spiritual wickedness. When that one comes, it doesn't come with laws. You know, principalities come with bargain power. Powers come with influential power. Rulers come with legislative power. But spiritual wickedness come with death. So he will come with cancer of the womb. He will come with ovarian cyst. He will come with HIV. He will come with death. But the devil didn't show you that the ruler of darkness was coming. This is how the mountains of influence are colonized. So when you enter the media, they welcome you with the picture of a naked girl to show you that here we rule. You enter the campus, the first day you come, you see 30 ladies, all of them are naked. They are telling you that we rule here. You can do your crusade, but we have taken this mountain. So when wise men come to a territory, they don't begin to talk to men, they begin to talk to spirits.